ready for the field to go to work all night tonight. Yeah, so I didn't put anything in the comments section or description, and it doesn't really matter either way. I'm not really worried about it, so it just is what it is. So we're gonna do a blam blam blam, a little bit of scripture reading today before I go to work because serving the Father is what we're about, and we have to keep pushing the four Gospels of Christ, or we fail, and we're not going to fail in this Cylon world we live in. Technology's there. We just got to keep on keeping on. I put no description anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't want the Monsters Incorporated to even be a part of this anyways. Romans, where are we at? We're going to be back to Romans. We're actually going to be looking back into, no, Hosea? No, I want to do that. I'm going to probably try the heralding of John. That's a pretty good one. Should we go to that? The heralding of John. Gotta love it. There's just basically just is talking about St. John the Baptist. Mark 1, 2. There's just a painting of John the Baptist, very young man in that time, but he was a little bit older when the time of Christ was coming about, and that's all good, except for the camel hair coat. Kind of weird, I'd say. That was a goofy choice. Anyway, Jesus was growing to manhood in preparation for his divine mission, even as another was establishing the way for Jesus's work. The herald of Jesus was John, the son of Elizabeth and Zacharias, who trained for his ministry in the desert of Judea. That's pretty cool to know John was actually, getting ready for the Christ. That's cool. Gotta love him. Gotta love it. So St. Matthew's, the Apostle St. Matthew, I like getting into this too because St. Matthew's pretty cool. But we go back to the beginning of St. Matthew's. There's a whole section of art inside the King James Bible that's really, really cool. It's pretty awesome, the depth and the beauty of it. Gives you a better idea of what those in that time period would be acting like. And remember, the people say, oh, Jesus is black, Jesus is green, Jesus is yellow. It's not really true because realistically there was a European influence into this, but the Europeans were all the way through Assyria, and you had the Arabs, were a different ethnicity than you had the Romans, and you also had the Jews, and the Jews that ended up by Iraq were a Caucasian Jew. So I mean, it's still, and they still consider most of the Middle East Caucasian. Keep sticking. Good to see you there. Swizzle, good to see you. Yeah, so I mean, they say, okay, well, this is a Caucasian person. Are they an Anglo-Saxon? Are they Slavic? Or are they just a Caucasian of the Caucasus Mountains? Were they from ancient Judea? The ethnicity really doesn't matter because there was what you'd consider white people all over the Middle East, because the Middle East is considered as the white people, and that's what gives a demographic of white people. The golden billion is basically all that's said, versus 7 to 8 billion that are not Caucasians. So if we start getting into that, people start saying, well, we're the ones. We're defeating the purpose, because realistically, melatonin and the way your ancestors either had a bad experience in their genetic makeup or a good experience in their genetic makeup. It's all just it's a DNA dump, and it doesn't make a difference what race we are. It's how we act. Realistically, we all come from the same garden. So let's not get stuck on stupid when it comes to what color was Jesus. Anyway, so let's get into parable of the sower. You guys all understand parable of the sower. It's a pretty good one. This is why we're not throwing our seeds into the garbage, into the rocks, into the weeds. I'm not here for you people that are already entrenched. You have wasted my time. You waste your time. Just do something else. If you don't want to be in this, you don't want to be in this. Go do something else. The seeds I'm throwing is not going into bad ground. I'm way beyond that. The rest of us. Yeah, he doesn't show. And based on skin color, you can go back, and what people are going to keep finding out realistically, it's when certain groups of facial features, body structures were eliminated by monsters or eliminated through natural catastrophes. We all come from a very divine looking human being. And the problem is we just, throughout the ages, like my grandpa was 5 foot something. My white grandpa was short, small, Czechoslovakian. I inherited a lot of his DNA, and my codes were coded by his shortness. But my full-blooded grandpa was 6'9", and I didn't get his coded DNA into my. That's how that works. We all come from the same people. We're all tall. We're all beautiful. We're all gorgeous people, but we had the DNA of ugly mistakes in the genetic manipulation, just like with me, and eventually when we receive our spiritual body, when we're out of this thing, all that's going to be wiped away. Say, oh, I got bad teeth from when I was a kid. And well, that's genetics. And I have, I'm short or I'm fat or I'm big boned. Well, a lot of that's just genetics. It's just not you. We got to quit blaming you for you. Ugliness is in the spiritual level and on the physical level. So when somebody's ugly on the outside and they're ugly on the inside, they're just ugly. And it doesn't matter what you try to do to them. They're going to stay ugly. You can't put lipstick on a pig and expect it to be good looking. It's just going to be as ugly as it's ever going to be, because it's never going to be anything other than ugly. You got to stop doing this. That's why you don't throw your seeds into the rocks. And if somebody says, oh, that's beautiful, nobody says ugly is beautiful. Nobody. It's you're trying to go against the surf, saying, no, I'm going to make it with a one paddle in a raft with heavy surf. You're not going to get in there. It's too much. Stop celebrating ugly. The beauty of Christ. If you want to be ugly and celebrate ugly rappers and ugly people, the Kardashians and the ugly people that they're screaming at the top of their lungs for rights and prides, and that's you. You're just going to support. You're just as ugly as they are. You're just ugly. But if you're going to come to Christ and say, hey, no, I want to be beautiful. I want to see beauty. I want to feel beauty. I want to be beautiful. Then Christ says, just take me by the hand. Be beautiful. Yeah, Christians always do avoid that thing. Let's see, where's the mention of dinosaurs in the book? Well, because the reason why there is mention of dinosaurs, but how much did they already destroy of the book? You're only reading books. This is all that was put into this, everybody. Welcome to the reality. This is what they put into this. This is only a documentation of lineage and talking about certain events, creeping death, Moses. This is stuff in the back of this. You guys got to understand this. They're not putting that into there. And you say, oh, what's the Garden of Eden's different, just different. You're in a system. This is a game. I hope you all understand this, or you don't understand technology or development of what you're on, called YouTube and your phone. Bye-bye then. Take care. Bye-bye now. Because you don't understand technology. You are in a game board, a matrix. Everything has a developer. The dinosaurs could have lived and could not have lived. He made this world. You didn't. But some man made the phone that you get the ability to say your opinion somewhere on God's green earth, which I think should never have happened. But he did it. A man developed it. And people, oh, where's the first spark? And no, it's his world. He decides what goes on. You don't know if they lived or died, or that was just a part of the system. Well, in the beginning, there was the earth, and then there was a garden. Yeah, and how many books were thrown away? You think that they wanted to tell the schmucks of the 8th century that there was dinosaurs walking amongst man? Well, talk to the Native Americans of footprints in the sand, and then you'll find out with the dinosaur tracks what's really going on here. Just because a bunch of old European men decided that they were going to rule the way things were written in the Old Testament doesn't make Christ's Testament any different, any less. He fulfilled it. Man walked with dinosaurs. Yeah. It's no big deal. But it wasn't recorded. You got the time between they got the Old Testament started recording, and the time that when Adam and Eve was developed, and it was Eve's ass that bit that apple, and none of us would be having disagreements or problems or shameful anything if it wasn't for Eve. Yeah. I'm going to try to keep up. You haven't been listening. Yeah. Hi, Papa. I love your hair. You don't have mesothelioma. Possibly. They did check me for mesothelioma. I did knock out some, they were, asbestos ceiling tiles, place called Bob's Outlet, just a little ways away from here. Yes, they checked me for mesothelioma. Yes, I had a mass in my right lung, and I had mass in both my lungs when I was younger. Yes, I did have what they would say mesothelioma due to asbestos and fiberglass. It was called a type 1 exposure. I had to take a sledgehammer in as a 15-year-old kid. They hired me to knock out ceiling tiles, the tiles that fit between the little metal slats in a roof. Well, they were all asbestos. And they, instead of hiring a crew to come in and remove the asbestos, this big, tall, white guy, jerk, he tried for city council. Reminds me of the guys just that I'm dealing with now. I breathed it all in without a mask. Had to go to the ER the next day. I was bleeding and coughing, and it was in my sinuses, the fiberglass and asbestos. They said I got, and then Dr. Tooman told me he's now passes. I'll be suffering the rest of my life from this, and they don't see any. They don't see any asbestos. I got some nodules in this long and some in this long, but nothing's going. So, but that's been a year. I haven't been back to be checked in a year. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, free will. I'm gonna try to skip down, guys. I don't know what that means, guys. Hey, Flower, good to see you. So let's get to this. So just remember, if you want to worry about the dinosaurs, you need to understand that you're not privileged enough in the code of civilization to be allowed to know dinosaurs. Crap, I don't get busted for that. It's just what they hid from us. That's what it is. It's not like they're going to give you specifically almighty you and almighty me what the truth is, because you got to remember there's been people that have been trying to take over everything, and they think they own everything, and so they're not going to give you the truth. You know the truth down deep in your soul. You don't have to have anybody set there, especially these idiots that wrote these books down. These were monsters. You wouldn't want to spend 10 minutes with these the clowns that made these, wrote the actual stuff down. John did, Matthew did, but the men that deciphered and actually put this into King James or whatever Bible you're reading now, they're clowns. They're fallible human beings. So I mean, they're not going to include dinosaurs because realistically, they didn't know about dinosaurs then. If they say they read a part that says, yeah, there was these dinosaurs walking. They already told you giants walked the earth in the Old Testament. They already told you giants walked the earth in the Old Testament. This land over here in America wasn't even inhabited but by the Native Americans that they said came to the land bridge. Yeah, so this place over here wasn't even in Scripture. You're talking about in Judea. You're talking about in the old Syria. You're talking about Iraq, Afghanistan, Iraq. Well, mainly Iraq. Iran goes into the Persians and all the way down through Saudi Arabia and Egypt. This is a story that's not about the rest of the world. Those dinosaurs and all that stuff was roaming through ancient, America, or they were over there in the Gaelic lands of the Celtics and Gaelics. So, I mean, even then, those people were heathens. They were living, they were worshiping, these ancient rotten deities. And, so that's where a lot of people, too, gets really confused and trying to, you Christians don't mention dinosaurs. Well, is this a story of your ancestors? Well, yeah, it was the Middle East. Well, okay. Well, last time I remembered, every Christians were being slaughtered, and they've been slaughtered throughout history for ultimate control and domination. Wiped them out, slaughtered them at every turn. I mean, let them live and took their daughters as slaves. I mean, whatever empire, whatever little minuscule monster empire comes about, it just keeps doing this. It's just raping and molesting and controlling and slaughtering, just like the Anglo-Saxons, just like the Chinese do. That's like the Ming dynasties in the empire. Just kill everybody. That's all they ever did. And Christ is only one. He's the key to all this. This is the truth. They're all dead. All them clowns that did all that stuff are all dead. They're not going anywhere. They don't exist. They're dirt. They're dirt. Every one of them are dirt. Wrote all the stuff they wrote. All the things that they told you guys were all true. In the atheists, like, I don't believe in atheists. I'm a scientist. They're all dead. And they don't go anywhere. They're all dead. They don't matter. The Matrix is done with them. They're done. They don't even have to worry about being judged. Most of them went to hellfire anyways. Burned. It's kind of like hitting delete and then going back to your trash and deleting the rest of them. That's cool. It's good. It's about time. They don't exist anymore. You feel it and I feel it. That's the funny thing. You're still plugged in the matrix of God, so you know exactly what I'm saying is right. They are dead and gone, all of them. And the boomers that are still hanging around. All the other greedy little bastard boomers, they're all dead too. And they're continually going. And my generation, exit rate, is against the machine. Now we're getting into that section before the monsters below us get in there that have been genetically and mentally brainwashed, that's coming about post-COVID. Thank God you only have us next to deal with. We're going to be the ones that break the system of lies. Well, everybody's great. No, they're all dead. Oh, they wrote this. Yeah, that dead guy did. Oh, what about this? Oh, they're dead too. They're all dead. All dead. And you got people like this representative here in Cedar City. He's a monster. His social skills are like a stick. He has no ability to even express his feelings. And he's a politician. Why is he a politician? Corruption, greed, lies, partisans that work for the highest bidder. Oh, no, they're good people. No, they're not. I trust this representative. No, you don't. Well, this is the way. No, it's not. Love is what it's about. Even you old fat guys that still think that you can buy love, you still can't buy love now, can you? But it sure makes us. No, it doesn't. You die alone and nobody gives a shit. Now, God burns you. Good luck, everybody. Without the love of Christ, you don't got nothing. They'll burn you alive for the last dollar you have in your stupid wallet. Well, I don't have. You find out what your little shithead kids do to you the day you kick the bucket. They're not going to do what you say you're going to do. They're going to take everything. And they're gonna rob grandma's house for the last of the wealth. Why? Because you made them who they are. No, Lil Root. Why don't you just go yourself? Get out of here. Get out of here. Let's put you in timeout. But just get the hell out of here. The hell is wrong with you? Why do you say stuff like that? Why is somebody so damn stupid, such a dirtbag to come on and say something like that? Christ isn't going to deal with dirtbags, and he hasn't been dealing with them, and your ancestors are all dead. So good luck with that. Christ only takes the ones that he loves, the ones that repent, and the ones that call upon him, and the rest is a dirtbag that says, can we touch lips? Nobody wants to touch lips with you, dirtbag. I'm sorry, your father, the devil, might... Oh, he'll make out with you. Yes, just like Sammy Hagar said, 1977, 2025, the crack in the earth. This is it, and it's October, so it's time to take the kid gloves off. You're going to get burned. You're going to be bundled and burned. You're already in hell. If you're all evil, wickedness, let's touch lips. Your days are done. Good luck. You had a good run. All of you did. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. Look at the mess you've made. Look at the rich that you danced and swayed for. The ones you promoted. Look at the monsters, their fathers, the devil, that you stood proud for. And they eat you, your flesh and your blood, as you eat theirs. You're not eating Christ's flesh and his blood. You're eating the rich man, the hip diddy, hip daddy, deep papa doo, dooba dooba doop, got Tourette syndrome, rapper, gangster, douchebags. And you're just no better than them because you are what you eat. Garbage. Yeah. You didn't think they called it a rap for nothing, right? Your music is a rap. You did this, it's you. Take care then. Bye-bye now. Or come here and try to put me down for your actions and your world. Christians are like, follow me and I'll lead you. Yeah, they'll lead you somewhere. Christian values doesn't exist. They never have. He never said value. You know what the Lord says? You either serve God or mammon. You got your choice, valued crapheads. But all the widows' houses now, ain't they so brimming with wealth that you can go sell and make money off of the value of being a Christian. Look, those are Christian values. Write that check payable to my church today, $14.95, and I'll give you a blessing. The Lord says, who the hell are you and what are you saying? I vomit you out. I told you I was right in front of you the whole time, right beside you, but you decided not to look at me now, did you? Why? Because there's no money in it. Christ doesn't demand your money. He doesn't demand any of that stuff. He tells you to serve God and not even him, to follow him. He's bringing the will of God. You're a sheep and he's your shepherd, and he shall lead you. And if you don't believe upon the Lord, saying, I'm here for your salvation to lead you there, then take care, then bye-bye now. Take care, then bye-bye now. Go away. This isn't for you. This isn't for you. You don't exist in this plane. You got all that you want, bro. Tear it up. But this isn't yours either. You're playing in a matrix, swaying to the symphony of destruction now, ain't you? And do so. Carry on. That's what I say. Carry on. Because reap the world. Reap this place. What you sow, you shall reap. And you are of the world, you will reap the benefits of being of the world. Look at my money falling from the sky. Look at the fall. That's not your money. That's their money. Oh no, I'm rich. What do you call rich? I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna be back in the sky and gone. You guys can tear it up, you bad guys. Tear it up. Nobody cares about your feelings. Nobody cares about your systems and your governments and your whatever you got going on, bro. You do you. Nobody cares. Your ancestors would bitch slap you 6 ways from Sunday for your narcissism and your pride. They'd drag you down the street and kick your grandpa would take you outside and beat you in the barn and say, what the hell is wrong with you? You were born with better morals than this. But no, you come here. Can we touch lips? Yeah, your granddad would have kicked the shit out of you. And that's what's going to happen to everybody that's like that. You're going to get your asses kicked. It's not me that's going to do it. God's going to do it, and you know damn well I'm right. What kind of morals is here? There's no morals in this place. God left this place. We're left to our own devices. This is it. It's done. You think it's going to continue? That isn't October outside, by the way. Good luck with thinking it is. The leaves are still turning, but who cares? It's not October. It doesn't feel like October. Look, it doesn't feel like October. This doesn't feel like the right way because it isn't. It's all a great big lie and nobody gives a shit unless there's money in it for them and they can abuse and rip people's guts out for their own profits. Side hustle, anybody? I've got a great side hustle. When did society decide hustling was good? Yeah, many of you guys got to get your side hustle on to compete with today's economy. And if you don't have a side hustle, you're not going to... Shut up! Hustlers got shot. Hustlers went to prison. And now it's the side hustle. You've got to have, in today's world, to feed the rich. Keep the rich up there. Keep them going. Don't let them go. Don't let them down. Keep giving them everything. Quickly. Side hustle, everybody. Do you want to do the robot? When was hustling good? Any of you that promote side hustling, go away. There's a whole lake you can go to explore and the bastard's on fire. Because you've lost your moral values by even doing side hustlings. You're serving mammon. Well, I got to get my side hustle on. Why do you think they called the magazine, Dirty Magazine? Hustler! Duh! Beer. Oh no, that's right, isn't it? But they promote you with the side hustle. What do you think the Lord's going to say to you? Think he's going to be a lot nicer than me? Oh no, Lord, I just had a side hustle. It's not only was I enslaved for 60 hours a week and never preached your word once, I was too busy on my own Christian values. And the Lord's going to say, I never made a value, you jackass. I told you to follow me. I told you to preach my gospel, you idiot. You're worse than the apostles. That's hurting kitties. Never once did I tell you to go out there, Christian values. Yes, all you apostles, you weirdos are running around. Stop it, John. Stop it. Oh, Paul. Stop beating people up. No, Paul was great. Really? Was he? How about Peter? Did you like Peter? We called the weenie a Peter, the male part Peter. You wonder why? You think Christ had a good time with the apostles? Was you there? No. Well, good luck then. Oh, but Paul talks this way. Does he? Did he? Is he your savior? Well, Paul did this. Paul told you to cut your hair and use your beard too. And you believe Paul over Christ. Do you remember when they ripped out the front of his beard? Well, that's because he didn't have enough shaving cream to shave his beard and cut his hair. No, it wasn't. It's because Paul did that, not Christ. I'll say it again and again and again to everybody. They are like herding cats. If you love Paul, Paul is your Lord. Bye-bye. Take care then. Bye-bye now. Well, no, Paul preached the gospel and the Holy Spirit getting right. No, he told them to preach the Lord's gospel. Paul went rogue. Paul went rogue. He was in front of those damn jackass Romans that stole the church. They stole Christ, and they used it to conquer the world like the Spanish conquistadors did. Wake up. I'm tired of hearing about Paul. I've had it up to here with Paul. I've had it up to here with the fake Christians that say Christian values. It was my word and the will of the Father, not the values of a guy that calls himself Christian. Well, I am Christian. Look at my house. Oh, yeah, look at your house. Well, I'm a preacher and I got a Maserati. Well, look at your Maserati. Well, we're not supposed to be like that. Yes, you are. You're supposed to be throwing that shit away, dumbass. You're not even supposed to have anything if you follow me. You're supposed to give it all to the poor and walk away. This is to you supposed Christians. You better wake up. Because when you take that next oath as a cop or inside of a damn lawyer's office with a bunch of smelly idiots sitting there stinking, pretending to be the law, and you take that oath, you're doing the devil's deed now, aren't you? Dancing for the devil, eh? Eh? You look at that judge and say, no man judgeth me, but the Lord, and God my Father. No man takes an oath on anything here. If they say, what do you mean you won't take an oath on a Bible? The Lord told you not to, you jackasses. And the law is evil, and lawyers are the devils. And the tax collector is still the damn tax collector of Judea. What law are you following? God's law or the law of man? Well, the man's law has got to be there. Man's laws. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Well, then they do this and do this. No, they wouldn't. They're devils. Stop it. A judge is not a judge. They don't exist. They're a human being that farts and has skid marks. Leave him in the sun for a couple days and find out what happens to him. Almighty judge. A judge of what? Really? You stink. You stink. You smelly judges. You're weird. You're just a biomass. Give you a week without showering and you turn into a smelly rash. Without water for 4 days, you're dead. And without feeding your trap hole anything that's alive to get nutrients, you die too. And if you get unplugged, you don't turn back on. Man's law. What the fuck is man's law? I'm a law-abiding citizen. Well, you know what you do then? You follow God's law. Man, they're dead. They die. They're soft. They're smelly. They're weird. They sweat. They poop. They pee. They have to eat everything. And we're following their law? Huh. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's what he's going to tell you. Sure glad you did it. You know, those men that write laws, hundreds out of every state. Utah State Legislature writes 100 new laws. The Lord walks in and he crushes everything. throws over their tables, take their law books, rips them in half. The Lord walks in and says, you shall not rule. You're not the Lord, I am. And my law, the Father's law, is what counts, so all your books are null and void. Take care then. Bye-bye now, smelly, weird people in suits. He's going to go to all their kingdoms and crush them. And anybody worshiping a kingdom, you're going to be crushed too. Well, no, he's not. Yes, he is. And believe me, the law ain't going to protect you. Man's law, anyways. I got to go. But a stern warning to the Christian value community. If you harm a child, you may as well put a millstone around your neck. The big millstones that rolled in a big circle to smash grapes and to smash wheat and barley. Put that around your neck and throw yourself in the ocean. You're going to have a better chance of anything after this life. This is your consolation prize, rich man. And those of you that promote killing children or harming the innocent or any other human being on earth, because they're not yours to kill. Thou shalt not kill times 10 million. And the next one of you that pops off about killing, you're done. You're not getting any kind of salvation, not even in full repentance. Your eyes close and your breath stops. You're gone forever. Not temporarily. Enjoy it while you got it. Because this is a matrix. It's a machine. It's God's. And you know what he can do? Off. That simple. But why does he allow this stuff? Why does he allow this? Because you're in a matrix. This is a game. He devised it. You've already been here. Shut up. I lost some feathers. What's a Joe MVD? Do you have VD? It's called a venereal disease. What are you? Whoever even gives a shit who you are, what you say. Go in dog shit, bro. And you better hope that I'm not the one that gets to judge on one side or the other, if I'm even connected. Bye-bye, Joe. Because my report goes back to the Father, so good luck, Joe. Good luck. The IP address doesn't fix you. You can't hide. You can't hide from him, Joe. Know what you think. Well, let's see what you're... Okay, we all are under nature, mate. Even God is nature. God speaks about nature. God is everything. God is everywhere. And I'm 2 days from my anniversary of my death and my rebirth on this planet. God is everything and everywhere. And God will destroy you. And everything you ever was and everything you thought you were, because you turned away from him. Nature. What does nature have to do with any of this? He created nature. It's his. And you fucking destroy it, don't you? Oh, no, I don't. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Well, my investment's in real estate. Yes, you do. My investment's in this. Yes, you do. I'm for open borders and mass migration. Yes, you do. You destroy it. You're no different than the monster that goes out there at the bulldozer and rips it apart. Why is the world being destroyed? Because of us. Because the rich man makes it that way, because you pay homage to survive. To them. The power that goes through our lines, they own it and they make it, and the things they do destroys the earth, and they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about anything. And we are destroying the earth. And the earth is the Father and the Mother. And it's God's. It's Christ himself. And he's going to burn it up himself. So if you're playing the nature bit, stop it. You're hurting yourself. You're not supposed to take an oath on this place at all, because this is God's footstool. But Christ comes to burn you that burn and destroy his earth. He comes for you directly. You're on the hit list. But we're all guilty now, ain't we? Because we survived. Well, I live off the grid. You're still destroying the earth. You're still taking from the natural things. You're still eating everything. Nobody's not guilty here. We're all guilty of it. That's why we repent. But to sit there and go, oh, you can't touch the earth, and you people need us live in streets in tents because we need no more housing. The bastards that open the borders, the ones that's doing this whole thing for nothing more than profit. Indonesia or not, there's too many of you. There's too many of you. There's too many of you in India. There's too many of you in Pakistan. There's too many of you all over, everywhere. There is too many of you. You're overwhelming the systems. They know damn well, oh no, I put out everybody, make a bazillion more. The vats are full. It's over. There are too many of you. And they know it. And their goal is to eliminate you. God's here to save you. Christ wants you saved. He wants the lands opened up to the people. He wants the people to be free on the lands that's there owned by the rich men. And the poor men, that there's too many of them, that you don't get to have the land in which the rich men have because it's theirs. The land is for the people. The earth was made for us. There's too many of you, though. Indonesia, you're overcrowded. You just did that. Too many of you. The rich man owns the land. You don't own any of it. You don't see any of it. They're killing all of us, and they don't care. It's in the sky. It's in the air. It's in the water. It's in everything we do here. And they don't care. Rich man doesn't care. They lock off wilderness areas and close off the forest land, say roadless, because they don't want you in it. It's theirs. Save the environment. Let's bring bears and wolves. Oh, yeah, gotta love that. I'm here for the wolf. Look at me, I'm tiger. Tigers kill people. Rip them and die. They kill them in India. They get torn apart. People are like, oh my gosh, the tigers. Well, you're either a wolf or you're a sheep. If you're a wolf, get the hell out of here. The Lord doesn't have time for you. God doesn't care. Bye-bye. Take care then. Go be a wolf. If you support the predator, go be you, bro. But you ain't getting into heaven unless you're a child again. And children don't support wolves and bears. It's not Winnie the Pooh and Tigger the tiger. Each one of those animals will rip your guts out. They'll slice your flesh and lick your skin like you're a peach to get to the delectable flesh and blood beneath. No. Well, they're God's creations. Does God want them to stop you from being free in your own lands in which he built? Do you think that he's proud to lock off entire mountain ranges and beautiful areas to save an endangered poop face, bandit, chicken face, duckling? Do you think that Africa should be locked off all of its land so they can have save the lions, elephantes, the white rhinos, massive nature reserves so the rich man can go out there and go, look at I got me a picture of a gazelle. And then anybody that goes to get any kind of meat out of the forest or the outskirts get as a poacher. Do you think God would say that? Yeah, that's a wild wilderness reserve. What happened to the American bison? Shit, we killed them all. We didn't lock off America. Say, you're not allowed to get in there because we got to preserve the nature. And now you say, oh shit, there's too many people. And they say, oh shit, we opened the borders up. 50 million people came here. Where are we going to put them? What are we going to do with them? Where are they going to go? We need to preserve more land for ourselves. Not for us, for the Forest Service. No, not for the Wilderness Alliance. Yes, these areas need to be free forever of human beings. And that way the rich can take them when there's no more land left. Wake up, people. Every one of your wilderness areas is just a place the rich man's waiting for. So the future rich bastards, when everything else is gone and they gobble it all up themselves under high priced inflation and massive mansions and little places for the little people to live, mass high rise, they're going to go after your wilderness areas and take that. That's just reserves for themselves, places, rich man's paradises. We got to save the nature. We got to save everything. We got to block off the roads to everything. So we're in a box. They got to keep you on a trail so you poop in a little baggie and zip it up and say, oh, the nature. Oh my God, the nature. What do we do here? And God looks down and he says, you're not only a clown, you're a clown's ratchet. You don't even deserve the circus tent and the makeup, you clown. I made you to be free and to serve me in my world. And you're like, we gotta take it away from the people and put them in mass cities. We gotta not allow them to leave because then that is private property. Gotta keep it. Oh, did you pull over in the road? That's private. Oh my God, you stand off the side of the road, it's private property. Oh no. Father, take care of them. They're there. They're standing on the side of the road, and that is another man's property, Father. Strike them down. Strike them down. Father, they went in the woods, and that is owned by me. I'm a rich man landowner, and they went there and set in on my land. Maybe they hunted on it or fished on it. I want them, you strike them down now, Father. They trespass, Father. Get them. Get off my property. I'll shoot you because God didn't strike them down because God doesn't believe in a minute of my power as a shitty man that poops and farts all the time and that I have the right to own the land. This is my land and you'll take it out of my cold, dead, gun, dead fingers, hands. And God will just go, oh, you asked, did you? Boom, you're dead. I was waiting. But they trespassed. How dare they? I paid for this and gave that paper that said I own this land. And God's going to say, I never told you to own shit here, you idiot. Them old dead men did that. They said that that's a property and they surveyed it off and said it's theirs. And then they sold you deeds to it when it was all Indian land anyway in a treaty. You idiot. I got my claim from Sacramento. I bought this place. And God just goes, yeah, what tribe was there before you came? Oh, they lawfully gave it up. Oh, yeah, they gave it up. Yeah, they gave it up. They gave it. Give me your land. We're here to help. What man owns land, you clowns? Who gave you the right to own that land, more land than a man could need? What, a court system? That thing will lock you in prison and your name was Bubba and now will be Betty. And you'll be served not love every night, but you'll be served something by some other people and you'll probably be someone's wife in prison. That same law that you protect and, oh gosh, law Biden America, it has Biden in it. And he had Joseph in his name too. And Joseph was a clown, everybody. You guys don't even know who Joseph was now, do you? Stepdad Joseph sucked, just so you know. Like he even found a manger, that clown. He was exactly that, a clown. See that son of a bitchin' thing? It flies. It flies. Because I'm the shit. I tell you how it is. Why do I tell you how it is? Because for some reason the Father wants the lost sheep back, and those of you that are living with the devil to maybe think about it for a minute and say, the money's fake, the land isn't really owned, the system is corrupt and greedy, they're all liars, all of it's a lie. There's too many damn people in too many small areas and they won't let you out, and yet you still sway to the symphony of destruction, thinking that they have the right to put you in a high-rise or on the street, that some kind of man's money meant anything other than control. You're still serving man's laws. Some judge can stop anything. Some stinky, weird person that sits in a robe. They wear a robe at a bench and have a gavel. And you say that is the law? What law? The law that we wrote. Who are we? The dead people. And the dead that serve the dead that write the next laws. Well, we have to have protection. No, you don't. If everybody wasn't struggling to survive like rats on a sinking ship, none of this would be happening. But the rich man won't give you any of his wealth. The rich man won't give society anything back. The rich man is infected with greed, and it's all his. He wants maximum wealth, so you have just enough so you keep breathing and working and doing his wills and buying his stuff. And that's all this is about. It's not about you. They own it all, except for the little bit they throw to you. The little bit the entire population gets. Look at them. Look at them. Look at the rich men. Look at what they have and what everybody else does, and tell me I'm a Christian value man and I shall not want what they have. No. The rich man laughs at you. Laughs at you because your preacher doesn't even practice the Lord, sees his words or his gospel. He doesn't go out and tell you, if you're in my congregation, get out of here, because I'm not him. He's your only teacher. If you believe you have a teacher, please leave, because the Lord is your teacher. If you take oaths, please leave. But there wouldn't be anybody in church now, would there be? Aye, because there's no money in it, is there? Every preacher should be out there saying, it's not me. It's not me you got to worry about. It's him. It's him. And he's tired of your hypocrisy. He's tired of your lies. And he's tired of every way, 6 ways from Sunday, you Muslims and you Buddhists and you Christians all come up with ways to circumvent God's law and the love of Christ. Just to scoot around it just a little bit more for a bunch of virgins or some kind of paradise you think to get. What are you going to do with those little girls? What are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with those little girls? What? You going to take them to the park? That's your paradise? I got news for you. When you're dead, you don't give a shit about any of that stuff, because that feeling that you would get, it lives in the ether. It fills your body, what the body you have. None of that matters. You're not going to be thinking about sex with a virgin. That's a human feeling, and it dies with you. The angels don't get married. Sorry. They will eventually. But what are you going to do with your heaven? What is your heaven? You ain't even died yet. I'm 2 days from my anniversary, and I fucking died, bro. And all the shit you guys were told, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Trumpets and all this stuff that you think you're going to see, or some magical castle. Or you're going to be out there, the halls of Valhalla. Really? There ain't no halls of Valhalla, jackass. There's none of that stuff. Nothing exists out there except him. And he decides your fate. Because I've already been dead. You can't fix that. Oh, no, you wasn't. No, I'm a post-pandemic 2025 person, and I know because these old guys wrote this before they even knew what technology really was. And that fat little Asian guy that we call Buddha, and the Dalai Lama sticks his tongue, 9-year-old boy. Come on, everybody. Is that your heaven? Well, go see what the Dalai Lama did. You think I'm shitting you? Look it up just a few years ago. What are you running to? Well, we're going to be in... No. I got news for you. You ain't getting out of here without being judged unless you're a child or you're a woman, and you ain't going in through no father's kingdom. You're not welcome. All men, go suck it. You ain't getting in. Kick rocks, bro. None of you. Because why? Because you won't be a child of God. You won't do it because you don't love the Lord. You won't do it because of money. Money. Mammon. You can think about sex. You can enjoy a beautiful woman's body, be married. You can love. You can have all these pleasures on this earth. You can have them all. You best get them done quickly, because death is coming for you. Death is coming. And I don't care anymore. I don't care. I don't care, men. You're not your ancestors. You turn to the Lord, you say, I shall not even harm a child here. I'm not even going to harm a child here. I will not promote war. I will not ever say we must go to war. I will not say, save Israel. Israel, not Israel, it's Israel. You can blame that on your idiocracy language transfers. It is real. But no, it's Israel. No, it's Israel. That's why it's called Israel. But that doesn't mean Netanyahu goes and kills everybody. Greater Zion, here comes the temple. Oh, go good. Yeah, that's good, Netanyahu. That's good, bro. Yeah, keep it up, jackhole. I'm not your preacher that's going to come here and sugarcoat it so you throw money in the damn collection plate. I'm not the kind of preacher that's going to come here and say, you do you, oh, Christian values, keep doing what you do. No. No. You're either going to love and forgive and forget and leave this damn place behind and tell them to have that they have it say, you do you, bro. Maybe you should go to Tibet on some spiritual journey. In a place that nobody cares about. It's a facade. It's a lie. It's a part of a game. You're in a board. It's his matrix. You can travel the world and find enlightenment. Sure, I can't get you anywhere when you die. But I won't die. I'll live. I'm going to live forever. Bullshit. Ain't living for shit. God held me for a minute and said, go tell him. This isn't a game. And all of you that believe in this lie, go away. I don't want to see your demise as much as you want to see your own. But I will not witness you and what you've done. Leave. Don't ever come here again. And don't blame me. Blame yourself. Bye-bye.